Hey guys, Lisa Murphy here, and I wanted to talk to you today about how to run a really awesome rocking challenge group, right? So, this is kind of like our bread and butter, and how we get people to, in turn into coaches. That's how I've gotten a lot of my coaches, is because they have had a blast in their challenge groups. They love the results that they're seeing, and they know now that they have the tools that they can do this too, right? So, challenge groups, first off, should be really fun. And the first thing you want to do is, of course, enroll your challengers. Explain to them how the challenge group works. Encourage them to post, to share their, pictures of their meals, their water intake, their Shakeology intake, so that we're all doing this because it's holding them accountable. So let them know the reason why we want these pictures. It's ultimately to make sure that they get the best results. So the second thing you want to do is make sure that you get to know your challengers. Ask them their why and dig a little deep with them. Get to know the emotional reasons behind it. Are they trying to get their self confidence back? Do they feel like they're just totally disgusted with themselves and what they see in the mirror? Do they have medical reasons? Are they worried of having a heart attack or a stroke down the road because it runs in their family? Do they get out of breath just going up the stairs? Do they just need to feel healthier overall because they're living a very unhealthy lifestyle and they just want to make that change? And they've watched you, and now you have given them that inspiration and that desire to change. So really dig in and get to know them. Ask questions. The more questions, the better. People love to talk and share about themselves. So the more you get to know them, it'll actually be easier to reach out to them. Get to know what their weight loss goals are. What is their current weight right now? What do they have the most trouble with? Is it their diet or is it the exercise? That way, too, you can make sure that you've got the right program for them. So that's going to be the first thing, is just getting to really know your challengers well. Second off, you want to encourage them to take their before and after measurements. Like, you cannot stress how important that is. And when you enroll them, what I like to do on occasion is send a little thank you note and put an actual measuring tape in the mail and say, thank you so much for signing up with me. I cannot wait to be your coach. Here is a little measuring tape, and the reason I am sending this is because the most important thing you can do to track your results is to take your before photos and your measurements. Because at the end of this 21 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you are going to want to see those afters. I mean, people get blown away. A lot of the times they can't see the difference in their bodies, just by looking in the mirror. People say, yeah, nothing. I don't see any change. And then I'll say, okay, take those after photos and put that scale away. The scale, I don't like it. I don't like to pay attention to that. It fluctuates, right? How often do we get on the scale and it says one thing in the morning and by the evening it's 2 or 3 pounds heavier? So the scale, I don't even use one anymore. I judge myself on how I feel in my clothes, how I feel in my skin, and my energy. That's how I know that I'm on track. So that's why I encourage people to do as well. Next thing also is make sure that you are welcoming your challengers to the group whenever they are getting started. Give a nice big welcome. Explain to them where they can find certain recipes and tips in the file section. Make sure they know all that. And I like to always occasionally do a video. Share your journey. Put yourself out there. People love to see how this has worked for other people. So from time to time, just make a video of yourself. And, anytime you're starting a brand new group, always post a video and set the ground rules from the start. Let them know. You need to be posting your photos. We need to see your Shakeology photos. We want to see your water pics. We want to see your sweaty workout pics. And let them know if there are going to be prizes awarded right off the bat that they're doing this, and give them some motivation. So if they have prizes, if they have something like that, that gives them a little extra incentive. The next thing you want to do is just not throw them in there and say, okay, have fun. No, it doesn't stop just by starting the challenge group and going in every day and doing your couple of posts. You want to check in on them. So at least once a week, once you're doing the challenge group, Send a private message. It goes a long way just to say, hey, I just want to make sure you're doing okay. And I can't emphasize enough, if you have someone that's totally fallen off, you don't see them posting in the group, but maybe they were when they first started and they stopped, you have to follow up with those people. Find out what's going on. Are they okay? Are they having have they just given up? Are they still hanging in there? You need to make sure that they're okay. So send them a message, reach out, ask them how things are going and that you've noticed that they haven't been posting. A lot of times people will say, I'm doing great, thank you so much for checking in, and really appreciate it. A little bit goes a long way. And then they might actually start posting again, because you don't want your group to go dead. That's like the worst thing that can happen. So what happens if your group does seem to fizzle out and there's hardly any activity? Well, you can always run extra prizes. You can run a plank challenge. Show me the most creative plank. Get crazy guys and give them an awesome incentive for a prize. Or you could say, Flex Friday. You could say, how many glasses of water have you had today? Show me your count. The more you post, whoever posts the most, you're going to get the prize for the day. There's just different things you can do. You can get creative, do your own thing. But prizes go a long way. Post questions, asking them a question so that someone needs to respond to you. Ask what their favorite recipes are. A lot of people are getting into this and looking up things on Pinterest and have found a lot of healthy recipes that we might enjoy too. So it's great to just put it back on them, and a lot of people end up loving to share that way. And if it's someone that's totally fallen off track and they're not posting and they're not getting back to you, that's really all you can do. And know that you've done your best, and it's okay. Some people just aren't ready. They think they are. They decide they're going to do this, and maybe on a whim, but then they're not ready to make that commitment. Their desire to change isn't that big. So, all you can do is just keep following up with those people and give them a little space, if they don't get back to you. But I would continue to reach out over time and make sure they're okay. And maybe hopefully one of these days they'll come around and say, okay, they finally had it. They're just finally sick enough of themselves. And a lot of people do come around. So I think that is kind of my tips for running a successful challenge group. Make them interesting, change them up every month, put a twist on it for the holidays, for the seasons, for the weather, for the different foods. You can do all kinds of different challenge groups, and they can be free. They could be just a 21-day group. They can be a 30-day group. But hopefully, running challenge groups is really the first step of owning your business. And so it's so important to do because until you run your own challenge group, you won't really feel that true sense of it needs to work, right? Of ownership. You own it when it's your challenge group, because you won't want it to fail if it's yours. So I just encourage everyone to run their own challenge groups when they're ready. We have the resources. If you need help, let me know, and be more than glad to, be in on one with your first one to help you out with it. Just reach out to your coach. And I think that's it for now. I just want to look at my notes and make sure I didn't miss anything. One last thing is posting. So make sure that you're just not in there posting and that's it for the day. You always want to be post at least twice a day, and then go back through and comment on people's posts. Not just people's posts, but actually leave comments so that people know that you're in there watching them and they feel supported. And everyone's posts, not just your challengers. Because to run a really awesome challenge group, you need to have everyone in there participating, or people will just slowly fall off. It's like the domino effect. All right, well, that's it. Have fun with it. This is supposed to be a really fun thing. So the more you have fun with it and just enjoy it, the more your challengers will enjoy it too. All right, hope this helps. Have a great night.